Any society that isn't governed in a way that reflects the most moral person has the final say is a nut house. The most moral person has the most focused moral intensity and universal pinpointed moral precision in a way that is valid. It's not somebody who says they have a dream and a bunch of scatterbrained, unfocused people in corporate groups agree and fund that person and sabotage other people. Okay, that is ridiculous. This video is vital. Share immediately, or at least after you finish watching. So the clown. The clown is the person who sees the El meaning Lord, as their own. The insane, the people who live based on how society functions and not moral precision and truth. They all choose the flesh over what is right. Point number 1. When one makes the choice to rebel against me, the top martial arts ever, and the last valid king ever, they are insane, and their path doesn't allow for mental clarity. Why? Because I have the most focused moral intensity and universal pinpointed moral precision. It doesn't take a genius to see that. And on top of that, I've been making videos for 12 years and a top martial artist challenge for over 7 years, going on 8. It is now at up to $5 million and nothing to pay if you lose. Point number 2. When one obeys the semi-secret order of the corporate state, they accept dehumanization. They also delight in the rapes, murders, pedo activity, drugging, lying, thieving, and all the evil ever. My goodness, 25,000 people starve to death every day. When is it too much for you people to stop rebelling against righteousness and give me my right to lead? Point number 3. They also forsake all the righteous that died for principle, including any in their family. Point number 4. They lose all the martial art and life principles, and they reproduce. Their offspring will lose them as well. These are human principles: discipline, focus, determination, heart, valor, virtue, okay, willpower, true honor, as pinpointed moral precision, etc. These are martial art and life principles: mind, body, soul, spirit. 5, and there's more principles in that. Once one is in an allowed culture, including criminal cultures, they logically, they couldn't possibly be responsible, respectable, or have self-respect. So once you're in a culture that's allowed in an evil world, think about Nazi Germany, okay? Think about communist Russia. America, like every country in the world, is a corrupt state. They have tons of surveillance. In 2021, they don't understand the importance of morality as governing class groups, and they force it on everyone who's in a culture that's allowed. If you're in an allowed culture by people who don't understand the importance of morality, okay, you couldn't possibly be respectable or have self-respect. It's pretty simple. I'm running out of time, so I got to keep going. All right. 6, the governing class are less than pedos, and it can never be another way. If you ruled over a bunch of Slimers from Ghostbusters as the repulsive violator from Spawn, would you be respectable? If you could transform yourself into Prince Humperdinck, who looks handsome to some, and to a lot of women, I'd imagine, would it matter? Would it matter if you're a Prince Humperdinck on the outside, a Brad Pitt on the outside? Matter if you look like me on the outside, but you were a violator on the inside? You would still be a piece of shit. For this reason, being a part of the governing class or breeding toward that doesn't change the fact that it is insane, irresponsible, and evil to rebel against the righteous one. And I'm the last righteous one ever. We'll get to that. 7, people that do not truly understand the 6 previous points will be the only people on the planet. Can you imagine? These points are straightforward. I would have understood in kindergarten. I would have been pissed. I'd have said, what the fuck's wrong with you adults? These adults are like a little kid. They went through a machine that made him come out looking 30 years old. Okay? To have sex with that little kid, let's say it's a little girl, just have sex with that little girl is like being a pedophile. Doesn't matter if they look 30, doesn't matter if they are 30. If they never grew up, it's like having sex with a child. There's a bunch of guys that never grew up. So for me and my dad. And a bunch of females that never grew up. And the guys tend to be smarter than women. That's why they in that way, that allows them to rape women and get away with it and so on and so forth. Okay? And they're taking advantage of the other children. They know 2 children shouldn't have sex. 2 children should be married. They never grew up. And using society's standard, which comes from the governing class cowards, and a consensus of people who are not the top martial artists, who are not the son of 2 doctors, 1 a brain surgeon, they're not me. Means nothing compared to my opinion. That's why in my truths, I only deal in pinpointed moral precision. Okay, and if I was to rule over you, I'd want advisors and so on and so forth. Okay, so I do it the most logical way. I'm not a tyrant. I'm morally precise. 8. LGBT, feminists, white skin supremacists, scientific racists, and token minorities rule over you. And as they never grew up, you accept their trickle-down pedo energy. There is no way to prepare, this is no way to prepare to meet your maker. The pedo energy of the wicked versus the fine linen, which that is for the righteous acts of the saints. Would you rather be adorned in righteousness and moral repetition when you meet your maker, or have followed these lowly dogs? And how important is it to be righteous? 9. Only idiots that do not understand Jesus and the Martyrs, Bruce Lee and Chinese Connection, The Last Samurai, the movie 300, Braveheart, Shaka Zulu, Romeo and Juliet, and Abraham and Isaac, etc. will be left. Only people who are too stupid to understand that if you're going through hell, even the top layer of hell, which is earth, you keep on going. You don't stay and reproduce. It's pretty fucking stupid. Okay. 10. Mind control, surveillance psychology, psychiatry, social sciences, covert drugging, etc. Okay, are all done by pervs. They're all done by people who use it for eugenics, scientific racism, social dogmas, basically sexual control, when they consider biology and demographics. It's called biodemography. Okay, those are the people who are advancing these sciences and fields of study for the purpose of determining who fucks who, to control what types of people populate the planet, because they want sniveling betas that look up to them. They don't care how strong they are, so on and so forth, as long as they look up to them and they accept their respective position. 11. Now you should understand why no true sanity exists outside the divine martial art order. That obviously ends on earth when I die and continues with God after that. It is insane to rebel against my leadership. What other options you have? Try to be uncontrolled opposition yourself? Fucking stupid. You're cheating me out of my right to lead. If you cheat me out of my right to lead, are you righteous? You're going to go to God, who demands obedience, and say that you cheated me out of my right to lead, and I'm his representative, so he demands you obey him through me. Not on your own. What do you accomplish on your own? On your own, your whole life, you've been cheating me out of my right to lead, and you've probably been in a loud culture your whole life. Cheating me out of my right to lead is wrong. Who am I? I am who I am. I am how I aim. I am what I aim for. I'm a combination of these things. I am what I will be. I will be at God's right hand, draped in righteousness. Almost 40 years old, living with my parents still, because I'm righteous. That's not a man-child. Jesus had no home. The righteous, when they're persecuted, scramble. In the Bible, he said, the Son of Man has no place to lay his head. Point number 12. Cheating me out of my right to lead is wrong. Who am I? Isaiah 28:17, right? The Bible says, use justice and righteousness as the measuring line and the plumb line. Use universal pinpoint and moral precision, in other words. Okay, that's the rest of point 12. Point 13. The royal jungle forged essential alpha essence to sense the presence of God. The royal top martial artist whose jungle forged, what's the difference between being cultivated in the jungle versus the snow or the desert, right? It has to do with enhancing your senses in terms of the nature and the essence of nature and the supernatural. Okay. This is what is needed to sense the presence of God. You can't be in a coma, in a vegetative state, and sense the presence of God. You can't be an unfocused, scatterbrained whore, etc. 14, proclaim, proof, profound, etc. I have over 12 years, about 12 years of making videos and over a 7-year, up to $5 million top martial arts challenge that let me recover. Okay? And the logical assumption, the sound conclusion, is to obey God through me. 15, evil is lived spelled backwards. Part is trap spelled backwards. Saved is divas. Divas are basically female devils like Kali. Okay? In their own language, they said evil is lived to spelled backwards. I have achieved. I more than just believed. Even the demons believe and shudder, is what it says in James. Is the body without the spirit is dead, faith without works is dead. The works are the Spirit of God. That which you did not do for the least of my children, you did not do for me. The least of my brethren, you did not do for me. We'll end it there.